The Women's Basketball Hall of Fame is an international museum right here in downtown Knoxville. It's also home to the world's largest basketball. Today, we're going to go on a basketball tour. I wonder if they can teach this rookie how to make a basket. The Women's Basketball Hall of Fame opened in 1999 to honor the men and women who've contributed to the sport of women's basketball. Knoxville's the perfect city for this museum, considering it's also home to the University of Tennessee's Lady Vols and legendary coach Pat Summitt, who was part of the first class inducted. To date, they've had 16 classes, including the most recent inductees, the class of 2014. This six-member class consists of Lynn Dunn, Michelle Edwards, Mimi Griffin, Yolanda Griffith, Yasmina Perisic, and Charlotte West. The 1976 USA Olympic team was also recognized for their contributions in a display at the hall entitled Trailblazers of the Game. I'm here with Josh Sullivan, who's the Director of Basketball Operations here at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Wow, this is really a beautiful museum you have here.
Yeah, we've been around for 16 years now. We're the only museum dedicated in the world to all levels of women's basketball, so it's a neat place.
It really is, and you have a real international draw, which is kind of neat to have that right here in downtown Knoxville.
Exactly. We actually just inducted another international player this past induction ceremony, so it's great. We get people from all over the world to come and visit us. So.
Probably people don't realize it's not just basketball players, it's really anybody who's really contributed in a major way to the sport.
Exactly. Most people think coaches and players, but this year we had a lady that was a real pioneer for Title IX who was inducted, and then we had Mimi Griffin, who was a ESPN broadcaster, so it was good to have a group that was very diverse in what they've offered women's basketball. So,
what kind of events did you all have planned for that ceremony?
Well, we had a little private media session with just the inductees on Friday night, and they got to tour the hall and see their own exhibits and everything like that. And then Saturday we started bright and early. We had a brunch, then we had the actual reception before the ceremony, then the ceremony, and then an after party. So Saturday was just slam-packed full of events, but it was a good day and the inductees had a great time. So
that's great. Well, talk to me a little bit about the museum's mission statement and just kind of the service it's really providing for the sport.
Yeah, we are an international museum dedicated to all levels of women's basketball. Our mission is to honor the past, celebrate the present, and promote the future of women's basketball. So, we have the museum here, and that's kind of how we honor the past, and we show the great accomplishments. But then we also have, kids come through, and we have education programs, and we try to support the future of women's basketball, and so it continues to grow and be a success.
Absolutely. Yeah, well, you have a lot of interactive exhibits and things too that people can get hands-on opportunities with.
Yeah, we have touch screens, and we have this one exhibit that uses your shadow to move a ball around. Then we actually have our basketball course where you can test your skills, and the kids love it.
Do any past inductees kind of surprise you coming through and saying like, hey, we just wanted to check it out?
Yeah, we have a lot of the coaches that are currently coaches. They bring their teams through and they get a tour, and every once in a while we'll get some of the past inductees down on the ball course and they'll shoot and play and do their own thing down there. So it's great to have them back.
Yeah, and you guys do more than just college, right? You've got even high school recognition.
High school, professional, Olympics, you name it, we've got it here at the hall.
That's great. Well, I'm excited to take a tour around. Do you think I can take a look?
Oh yeah, definitely.
As you look around the Hall of Fame, you'll notice the jerseys hanging in the North Rotunda of the museum. They represent some of the nation's finest basketball players. The current collection showcases both high school and collegiate All-Americans. There are also a slew of other fun exhibits here at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, and Josh is ready to take us on a tour. Okay, so Josh, we're here at kind of, I'm going to take a guess that it's an interactive exhibit behind us.
That is right, yeah. It's one of our newest ones. We just put it in a couple years ago, and it actually uses your shadow to move the basketball around. And then once you select a tile, you just you hold the ball over the tile for a second, and then it goes full screen and gives you all the information you'd ever want to know about that tile. So it's really fun and interactive.
Well, tell me a little bit about some of the tiles that are up there right now. I know you've got one on the Hall of Fame but
Yeah.
you've got one on some different people, even
Yeah.
an inductee.
Yeah, we have our 6 inductees. So every year we switch those ones out to the new class of inductees, and we have some about the Hall of Fame. Then we have some decades like the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. So we got a little bit of everything on there.
Okay, so this All-American Redheads car and exhibit here is kind of a showstopper.
Yeah, it is. This is our only permanent exhibit. The car was actually brought in before the walls were built, so this isn't going anywhere. But the All-American Redheads were a traveling team. They traveled for 50 years playing other men's team. They were kind of like the Globetrotters, but for women. And if you didn't have red hair, you had to dye your hair red to play.
So the coach was also a beautician?
Yeah, the wife of the coach, the head coach, and she came up with the name. She said, hey, let's call them the Redheads and we'll dye their hair red. And it stuck.
That's great. Well, and I guess I read too, they were kind of known for their flair, so that's what kind of gave them that Globetrotter feel.
Exactly. They did tricks and, stunts with the crowd and that kind of stuff. So it was really a fun, interactive game, not so much just basketball. It was kind of entertainment too. So.
Sure. Well, and I read they're the longest lived team ever.
Longest professional team. They played for 50 years, so there's no other professional team that's played that long. So
that's really amazing.
Coming up next, we learn more about the many programs here at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in Knoxville, Tennessee. Plus, I get to see if I've got any game. I wouldn't hold my breath. It's all coming up on The Local Traveler. Today, we're in Knoxville, Tennessee, visiting the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame. This nonprofit organization is the only facility of its kind dedicated to all levels of women's basketball in the world. We learned more about the 2014 inductees and saw some of the wonderful exhibits here. Now it's time to talk with the president of the museum, and then I put my skills to the test to see if I should keep my day job.
So I'm here with Dana Hart, who is the president of the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, and we're standing in your events room, right? So I'm going to take a wild guess that you guys do a lot of fun events here.
We do. This room we use a lot for birthday parties, youth programming. We do Girl Scout groups. We do overnight sleepovers with the Girl Scouts, which are a lot of fun. They're called Jump, Drive, and Jammies, and the concept of a sleepover is not true. We do not sleep. We play games and have fun the whole night. We also use this room for board meetings and corporate events. One of the favorite types that we do is bluegrass, barbecue, and basketball, which fits in perfectly for East Tennessee. But we do a host of different events in this room.
Yeah, I can see where people could maybe get a little stress relief, come back to a meeting, they can play in here, and it really does have a great backdrop for a variety of different events.
Absolutely. We've also done Sweet 16 birthday parties in here. We've done 40-year-old birthday parties, some fraternity reunions. So it just has a good feel to the room. It's designed to look like an inner city playground. So we do have graffiti on the walls, the chain link fence, which makes it perfect for fun events.
Yeah. Well, the whole museum is beautiful. I mean, when you walk in and you see that beautiful bronze sculpture and you look around, you can see that it's really first rate. Tell me a little bit about how it got started and just kind of the history behind it.
Sure. The Hall of Fame was originally supposed to be in Jackson, Tennessee, in West Tennessee, and everybody says, why Jackson, Tennessee? The NAIA tournaments were held in Jackson for many years, and that was the original, what we consider the NCAA Final Four. It was the precursor to the NCAA Women's Final Four. Once they were unable to raise the money, which took quite a few years, and it was supposed to be about $10 million to build the Hall of Fame, they weren't able to raise the money. So a couple of very strong women here in Knoxville, Gloria Ray and Coach Pat Summitt, said, let's bring it to Knoxville. Knoxville is, as we know, a hotbed of women's basketball, so they were able to raise the funding within less than 2 years through private donations, corporate donations, and local support. And therefore the Hall of Fame was opened in 1999.
Tell me about some of the programs you offer for kids?
Sure. We have a full line of education programs that run from K through 5th grade. We also offer a marketing program for middle and high school, a sports marketing program. But our K through 5th grade programs are based on the state of Tennessee curriculum, so they do follow the current curriculum. And we have different levels. We have science, we have math, we have history, we have English, communications, and they pick the courses they want to take, and they're all a lesson that pertains to basketball. So they can get a physics lesson watching a basketball and a tennis ball, you know, the difference in the height of how far it will bounce, whether it's at room temperature or whether it's frozen. So there's all different kinds of lessons that we can teach pertaining to basketball for our education program. We also do birthday parties. Like I said, we do Girl Scout programs. Any of the Girl Scout programs we do offer here at the Hall of Fame for all age levels. And then we also do, you know, our Girl Scout outreach which would be our sleepover and our Hoops for Hearts events.
That's great. Well, and I noticed I can hear outside there's lots of kids out playing right now in kind of an interactive basketball area. Tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely. Our basketball courts, we have 3 almost half courts. We have a dribbling course, a passing course, and a high jump. And it's great for kids to come out and just to get some stress off. I always tell parents, if it's a rainy day, you know, and you can't think of anything to do, come to the Hall of Fame and let the kids run and have fun. But it's also good, like you said earlier, for corporate events. If we're having a meeting here and they've sat through the meeting for a while and they kind of have that brain fog of being in the meeting for so long, they can take a break and go play some basketball and come back energized.
Well, I'm excited. I understand Josh is going to take me through the ranks here and see if I can dribble and pass and shoot. So I don't know. I'm going to have my fingers crossed.
Yeah, he's going to put you through the ropes. It's going to be a tough one.
All right. I'm ready.
Good.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
As you enter the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, the first thing you see is the Eastman statue. This 17-foot bronze statue is said to exemplify the museum's mission to honor the past, celebrate the present, and promote the future of women's basketball. I wonder if it will also serve to spread a little baller power to this unskilled and hoops-challenged TV host. In addition to preserving the history of the game, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame is also the perfect location for special events. The Hall of Fame can accommodate groups from 10 to 1,500. They can also accommodate the shopper in you. Looking for nothing but net with that perfect basketball gift? Trophy's Gift Shop has a great selection of items for men, women, and children, including t-shirts, hats, basketballs, glassware, games, and more.
Make sure and visit the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame in Knoxville, Tennessee. You can help support their mission of honoring the past, celebrating the present, and promoting the future of women's basketball.
Coming up on The Local Traveler, find out more about a faith-based, feature-length movie that was filmed entirely in Central Kentucky. The film's co-directors went to school in Wilmore, Kentucky, and wanted to return to their hometown for their directorial debut. The film not only brought in professional Hollywood talent, but also utilized lots of local cast and crew. You just might recognize a familiar face. So don't miss this episode of The Local Traveler to learn more about a local film with a very important message of hope. To learn more about the show, please visit us online at localtraveler.com. If you're looking for even more to add to your local travelers list, then like us on Facebook. You can stay up to date on our show schedule, find episodes online, or suggest a future adventure. Go to facebook.com/localtraveler. You never know, your suggestion could be on the next Local Traveler.